Therefore, we must keep our educational instruction pure without the political nuances.
Who is Martha Washington?
His wife.
Under your bill, how could you mention that in a classroom?
So to me, that's not sexual orientation.
Really? So it's only really certain sexual orientations that you want prohibited from introduction in the classroom.
Do you have language to make that better, to make it where you're not talking?
Lady, I didn't introduce your bill.
Okay.
Could it be mentioned under the plain reading language of your bill? Is that a no?
I don't know, sir.
Crazy how that works. Republicans have been running around talking about how Democrats can't name what a woman is, but apparently Missouri Representative Ann Kelly can't say what sexual orientation is. It should probably be helpful considering she's pitching a bill that would keep schools from talking about sexual orientation. And as you heard in that first clip there, a Democratic representative in that body wanted to point out that she has no idea what sexual orientation is, even when it's straight. She got stumbled up on that. Here's a couple of details of this bill that she's proposing, or part of proposing, with absolutely no knowledge of what it is that she's proposing. The Missouri bill debated in a State House committee hearing would ban K through 12 public school staff from teaching about gender identity and sexual orientation. They said exposure to such topics is inappropriate for children, creating confusion which may then cause doubt in their identities. That's what Ann Kelly said. And she's also a former teacher, and she's the Republican sponsor of this bill. It is not the place of the school to indoctrinate our children by exposing them to gender and sexual identity curriculums and courses. But again, as the representative there pointed out, if you mention that Miss Washington was the wife of this man named George Washington, that's sexual orientation. We can't mention that she's married to a man because that would be indoctrinating our children into thinking that men can marry women. Oh, but we can do that part. That's normal. The stuff that we're uncomfortable with, we don't want. Sounds like bias to me. I mean, but I'm just me. So she's talking about this sexual orientation thing, and that representative there, his name is Phil Christonafelli, and he's openly gay. So he has a particular reason to call out her nonsense. He asked about the different topics that could be prohibited from the bill, including that Martha Washington exchange. Let's watch more of what they were talking about.
Which sexual orientations do you believe should be prohibited from Missouri classrooms?
I'll have a moral compass. And my moral compass is compared with the Bible. You can believe something without putting that onto somebody.
I'm asking about the language of your bill and how it would permit the mention of the historical figure Martha Washington. Could you explain that to me?
So why is she famous? Is she famous because she's married to George Washington?
It seems like that would be a relevant fact in her biography, yes.
She don't know. She has no idea. As a matter of fact, I don't know. I mean, whenever someone brings up Martha Washington, they don't bring up the first president of the United States being her husband. Again, so Ray, this whole thing, the entire point of this whole thing is to continue the same crusade the Republicans have had to eliminate the idea of the fact that gay, bi, trans, anything is real. And then number two, to criminalize it, to get us there. I mean, unless it's them that's engaging in this, which we know plenty of them do.
I think what's interesting about this is that the representative who's like leading this questioning is actually a Republican. So he is criticizing her from within her own party, which is good to see because it, suggests that possibly it won't pass. Also, of course, I need to highlight the fact that she said, I have a moral compass, which is in line with the Bible, which is really giving the game away because I do think that this woman was too stupid to not say the quiet part out loud in that their goal is to legislate and enforce Christianity on the people of their state. That's the end goal of this, right? Is to, have everyone conform to her moral compass, the religious moral compass that's set forth in her idea of what the Bible says. And I mean, that's a massive violation of the First Amendment, in my opinion. But it is this harmful idea that, like, if a gay man is a teacher and talks about his husband, that's somehow pushing being gay on the students. But if a straight man is a teacher and talks about his wife, then that's just A-okay. That's normal. So we can do that. They're not pushing anything on anybody. It's ridiculous.
There was also times in our history where it was also normal for only white folks to marry white folks, or black folks to marry black folks, or Asians and Asians, Latinos and Latinos. That's the way it was. It was normal, and it was very uncomfortable, and it was based in that same moral compass that they describe from the teachings of the Bible. It's always the same source with always some new kind of hate. Weird how that works, but they'll just carry it into the next level and the next level and the next. And they have no idea. She was actually confused. She was like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about marriages. I'm talking about men and women. There's nothing else. So her moral compass is very contained, and she thinks everyone else's should be there. Yet we have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene saying she wants safe space from people pushing all of their morals and their thoughts and their values on us. Yet it's constant with these folks. It's constant.